Director of RedBridge Group. Simon Welsh joins us live now, as he does every week. You heard that survey today. Is this being reflected in the focus groups you're doing?
Yeah, to a degree. So certainly there is, a growing frustration and a growing sense of being over it when it comes to lockdown. But there's an interesting sort of nuance to it when you think about sort of the political dimension of it, which is that people can hold multiple perspectives at the same time. And I think the survey results sort of allude to that as well, is that it's not binary. It's not as simple as you're for or against lockdown. People want lockdown to end, but they want it to end safely. And so we see that people can hate lockdown, and I mean hate it, but at the same time, they can hope like hell that it's effective, that it works. They can be very worried about the mental health aspect of it, absolutely, and that is a huge and growing thing. But at the same time, they may not see a particular alternative right now until we get those vaccination levels up. So people have got this sort of mixed view that really comes back to, the fears around catching it, the fears around hospitals being overrun, and basically wanting us to get through this safely. And not necessarily, again, as the survey results say, it's not about let it rip. It's about this nuanced view of, yes, we hate it, but there may not be any other alternative right now. Therefore, this sense of politically, we don't necessarily blame the states for going down this path.
Interesting to see, the hope, the certainty that people are crying out for at the moment. So in the groups that you're speaking to, are political leaders with a plan, like the Prime Minister pushing the 80% Doherty Institute, and those leaders signing up to that, are they the ones being rewarded, if you like?
Certainly there's an appetite for a plan. I don't think any political leader right now has really nailed it. I think in terms of the federal plan, there's not a lot of belief around it, and it's kind of not seen as the federal plan, in that it's the states that are seen to be running the show and driving the vaccination numbers. So if the plan succeeds, the success will land on the states. But equally obviously in New South Wales, and I think we talked about this last week, there's a perception of loss of control there that's absolutely coming through with the numbers. But even in Victoria, as again the other major lockdown state, we are hearing people talking about this desire for a plan, particularly a plan to get kids back to school, and a plan for hope. So I don't think anyone's really nailed it at the moment. But opinions around the political implications of these things are all in flux because they vary from day to day as those numbers come out. They really have an impact, those case numbers.
No political leaders nailing it will come as a surprise to absolutely no one, I think, Simon. But quickly before we let you go, we saw a news poll this week as well. Look, there was a big shift to the minor parties, but there's not a huge shift away from the Liberal Party at a federal level.
Yeah, that's right. We're seeing certainly that shift away to the minor parties doesn't surprise us. We've been seeing for a little while now, sort of on that right flank of the Liberal Party, sort of nibbling away of people that sort of wanting them to go harder on opening up and those sorts of things. And we would expect to see that come off first. That end tends to be a little bit more volatile. On the other flank, there's certainly a softening of support in sort of middle-class suburban voters, but they're not quite jumping on Labor yet. It's a softening, it's not a jump-off, and I think Labor's got some challenges there around, I sort of call it getting back to basics challenges for Labors. They need to build a profile around their leader. They need to build a profile around Anthony Albanese that really speaks to empathy. Empathy would be enough right now. So I think they've got a challenge around building that profile.
Yeah, absolutely. Many challenges ahead, Simon. Thanks so much for your time. We'll speak to you next week.
No drama. Thank you.